Hi, everybody. Please accept the recording in progress button and we'll go ahead and get started. Super glad to be here. You guys, I love today's product. I love today's kit. I love today's product. I love what we're going to learn today. And so we are going to learn about, if you take a look at my face, I'll spotlight my face for a minute. We are going to learn about this product right here. It's the Here Together stamp set and the All Together suite. There's stamps, there's dies, and there's designer series paper. So we're going to look at all that today. And you guys, it's kind of my signature. It's kind of my thing to do like this heart shape like this, right? That's kind of my jam. That's kind of my thing to do. I love to do it. And so when this stamp set came out, I was like so smitten. So I'm really, really glad to be able to share some stuff with you here today. So let's go ahead and remove spotlight there. And we will spotlight my hands. And my hands are upside down. So give me a second to get this right. And let me get my hands right side right, because that's going to be much better. Okay. And it's in focus. So are my hands the right way? You guys can see?
Yep.
All right. All right. All right. All right. You guys, we have 5 cards I'm going to show you today. And just to tell you, what is this kit? You can get this kit free with a minimum purchase, and I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. You can also get this kit at my cost if you're on my team. That doesn't count any of the labor to do all the die cutting, and there are lots of die cuts in here, but you can get this kit a number of ways. And so let me show you the very first card we're going to make inside this kit. We are going to make this sweet card. We're kind of starting simpler and we're going to build our way up to working with the skin tone blends. So this, look, Mom, no stamps. There's not even any stamping. There's dies and punches and just pretty colors, right? So and from the magic of television, I've already done some of the work today, just because we've only got an hour to get through these 5 cards. So in the kit, you will get exactly the ingredients to make this card. Now, you don't get the stamps or you don't get the ink, and you don't get the blends, but you get all the ingredients to make the card. So you're going to get the thick white card base and this strip right here. I've already assembled it. And this is from the designer series paper pack. You're actually also in the kit going to get some extra designer series paper so you could decorate the kind of the flaps of the envelopes too. But for this particular card, we've got a few other ingredients, and this one's pretty super simple, Simon. I've already tied the bow for you, so you're going to get that. That's our essentials white, basic white twine. You're going to get some basic black cardstock and some of the designer series, kind of the scallopy look cut for you. You'll go ahead and glue those together, put some dimensionals on the back. You're going to get this die cut. Now, this die cut says Here for You. And so here's what it looks like. You start with this die. It says Here for You. It's metal. It goes through our stamp and cut and emboss machine. You roll it through, and then exactly what you're going to get in the kit is this layer right here. And I've already taken the liberty to poke out all those little holes, but oh, I missed one. But if you've got your take your pick tool, then you just take out all these extra little bits so that you've got kind of a nice sentiment right there. So you're going to poke all your little pokies out. You're going to get your Here for You. And we're just going to assemble it. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, I've already tied the knot for you. I've already punched the punch for you. And then look, I put the, I love what I did this time. I put the black and white gingham ribbon on a tag. But then as you unfold it, there's a reveal. There's like a little sentiment underneath. Oh, you can't even see it yet, but there's a little sentiment underneath. But we don't need that much yet. We are going to take the black and white ribbon. We're going to tie it around our base right here and just tie a nice bow. Oops, I have a dimensional back there already. Feels like this is a good amount, so I'm going to cut it. And my little bow. Now, if you Now, how does it work? Free with minimum $35 purchase, you're gonna get this kit of 5 cards. Free with minimum $50 purchase, you're gonna get a whole roll of this black and white gingham ribbon. So you're not gonna get just enough for the cards, you're gonna get a whole roll. Now, I realize I kind of wasted the ribbon a little bit, but that's okay. I think I give you plenty in the card itself. So I'm gonna give a little snip here, and I'm gonna give a little snip here. And then we're gonna go ahead, pop that guy on with dimensionals. We're gonna use mini glue dots on the back of the punch to kind of pop that guy on there. And what I really want to show you is how are you going to glue this guy, because he's super, super fine. You could either use your Tombow glue, liquid glue, with just the tiniest little bit, tiny, like even less than that, right? So I'm just touching it very, very lightly. Or, and I can tell you how to get these. You can get these little bottles that have a teeny tiny fine tip.
Lynn, you
Very
have that bottle, right?
I do.
Yeah.
It's
And
Courtney, you do too, Courtney. I do too, Janet. We all have it.
awesome. It's the most amazing little bottle. So if you guys, anybody who's watching has questions, just let me know. And I can get that
Have
information.
you
to you.
filled that bottle yet, Lynn?
No, I can't figure out where I put the darn thing.
Oh, darn
okay.
it.
Got it.
Oh,
got
darn
it.
it. All right. So we're going to undo those dimensionals. We're going to put it on the card. We're going to go ahead and adhere our Here For You on the front. We're going to undo our little mini glue dots and get our little bow. This is Magenta Madness. Now, if you love this color, you're going to want to get this color cardstock. You're going to want to load up on this because this is one guy that's retiring. And then we're just going to use our little mini glue dots, and I've already tied that bow for you. And there's our first little card. So really the trick
cute.
was, Lynn, what?
I love it. It's so cute. I love those colors.
Isn't it happy? This is Coastal Cabana, Magenta Madness, and then of course the black and white. Awesome.
Cute.
So that's that guy. And the real trick was you need to poke out all those little places with your take your pick tool. And then you just need to use the tiniest little bits of glue. But that's kind of the trick on that card. So now we're going to move to the next one. I think, well, I don't know. I'm going to say that about everything. I was going to say, I think this one's my favorite, but they're all my favorite. So,
Oh, like
so
it.
here's this guy. Here's this guy. Now, guess what? This is not the rainbows that are in the whole like rainbow suite right now. This is in the Designer Series paper pack that comes with the hands and the skin tones. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So in your kit, you're going to get this, but I also want to tell you, like, if you were to buy the paper and want to do this on your own, what you're going to do. So you're going to have your thick basic white, and I always do thick basic white as my bases because they're just so sturdy. So I always do thick basic white for my base. And then the Designer Series paper is 5.5 by 2. Now, of course, you're going to get the PDF that has all the dimensions in it. So I've already done all that. But now let me show you a little bit of tricks about coloring the rainbow. Now in the kit, you're going to get this rainbow. It's a piece of Designer Series paper. And I've already started cutting it for you, and I'll tell you why. Well, I've already started coloring it, and I'll tell you why. But basically, this came on a 6x6 piece of paper. Came on a 6x6 piece of Designer Series paper. I took the time to kind of cut this arc for you because I wanted to use something on the other side of the paper, and I wanted to be super mindful. So I didn't cut super carefully around the arc. So that's something you're going to want to do when you get the kit. You're just going to want to cut the rainbow around the arc just like that. And you're going to want to cut the inside. So I didn't color like the first two on the inside. So you're going to want to do that.
Hi, Donna.
Oh, who else is here? Let's see. Oh my gosh. Hi, Donna. Welcome. Welcome. We're going through, I'm showing how to use the skin tone, natural tones blends, and how to make various cards with the Altogether Suite, and about a special offer that I have. So welcome. We're glad to have you. All right. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of tricks. So this was designer series paper. You get that in the kit. I kind of cut the rainbow for you. And then I wanted to show you how do I color, especially on the designer series paper, which the designer series paper is going to be a little thinner when working with blends. It's going to bleed a little bit more. So you want to be really, really careful. So what I've done is I've taken the nib end, the smaller end of the blend, and I just kind of went along the rainbow arc. And I've done that all along on all the different colors. And then once I've done that, and this is a great tip for our coloring blends or our alcohol markers. This is a great tip for our coloring blends. Once I outline kind of the two shapes, then I can use the broader brush and I can come in and I grabbed the wrong one. Oopsie. Well, we're going to have a couple colors there. This is meant to be fresh freesia. So then I can come in and I can color in between the lines. So once I kind of, and I don't know if you did that, like when you colored when you were younger, I did the outline first and then I kind of came in with my crayons. Well, it's the same idea here, only you want to do that because it kind of contains the color for you. So let me do it with the pool party too. So I already outlined the pool party. And again, you want to be really, really careful when you're coloring this designer series paper because it's alcohol. I mean, by design, it blends and it bleeds and it kind of seeps. And so you want to keep it contained where you can. So, so I've already done this. I have fresh freesia, pool party. Then I've got Granny Apple Green. This guy I can tell is a little bit loved. It's time for me to probably get a new Granny Apple Green, and it's a perfect time to do it because it's celebration, and for every $50 I can get some free stuff. So this is a great time for me to kind of restock this Granny Apple Green. But I'll keep making my way through all the colors, just really, really pretty. And then I'm just going to adhere that with glue. I'm kind of giving you a fast kind of outline of this, not sharing every little step, but I'm going to color that all the way out. I'm going to adhere that with glue. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiments. And you guys, I love this stamp set. I love everything about this stamp set. I love the sentiments. Love changes everything. Every act of kindness changes the world. So you could pick any of those that kind of fit on this circle. So I'm going to pick the, which one? I'm going to pick the every act of kindness changes the world. And you know what? I'll tell you the reveal. That's what I put on the inside here. So when you get this kit and then you get the ribbon that goes with it, that's the sentiment I put under there was I just did it with love. I was just making the kits and thinking, I'm going to put a little splash of kindness in there for you guys. So, because I do believe that. So I'm going to kind of stamp that on. I'm using my black Memento ink. These stamps are nice rubber. They just stamp so beautifully. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop that on with dimensionals. And I'm going to you already get the bow. This is our black and white gingham. So you're going to get enough to make all the cards in the kit. So then you would just pop that on with a mini glue dot. And then the way that I adhered, and you're going to get all 6 of these very lovingly die cut hearts. And so you just kind of assemble them. So what I did was I put dimensionals on the back of them. And then I laid them out where I wanted them first. And then I peeled them off. And then I started to adhere them. So as soon as I got kind of the composition I wanted and the layout that I wanted, that's when I came in and kind of undid all those. So that's an assembly tip for how to make this card. And again, what I'm talking about for those who might be joining late is I've got an ordering special. If you order free with minimum $35 purchase, you can get all 5 of these cards. So I give you all the ingredients. I don't give you the stamps. I don't give you the ink, but I give you all the rest of the ingredients. And so I'm kind of sharing some tips in this video, how you might put those together. Or if you buy this, all these different ingredients, you get a PDF. And I share exactly, this is Fresh Freesia cardstock, Pool Party cardstock, etc. And this is the Give It a Whirl die. And that's how we got all those die cuts. So that is card number 2. Let me pause and see if you guys have any questions before I go on to the next one.
That's a really pretty card.
Well,
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you.
Very-
It's just happy and it's just kindness. Thank you. You know what? The product just it does so much of the work. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. Thank you. And you know, we take inspiration from other stampers. And so for sure, that is absolutely, we get inspiration from others for sure. All right, I'm going to move to the next card right here. Now we're starting to get into the skin tones. So here's the next one. And love changes everything. Again, I just love all the messages. And I just, it just touches my heart to kind of be thinking about unity right now. That just is important message in my heart right now. So I kind of want to just be a proponent of that and carry that message. So, I've already in the kit itself, you're going to get the crumb cake cardstock and you're getting a basic white layer. And I've already assembled that for you. You're going to get this fun doily, the cinnamon cider doily, early espresso cardstock 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Now this is the piece of paper that I told you was on the corner of the rainbow. So the rainbow DSP, I know these are a little different colors. It was 6 by 6. And on one hand, it's the rainbow. And on the other hand, it was the hands. And this is a great way to get multiple use out of, like, let's say you bought this designer series paper pack, you could make, I think, 8 rainbows and you could make 8 hands cards, right? And I'm going to show you some alternates too with the hands cards. But anyway, so that's why I very carefully cut the arc around this. And then I came in and I cut this into a 3 by 3. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit. I do want to check on time. I think I have a little bit of time. And plus we started a little bit late. So I'm going to go a little bit late today. I had a little bit of Zoom issues. So let me take you, I'm not going to show you, but I would take my heart stamp that came in the kit and I would take my crumb cake ink and I would just go around and I would pop my hearts everywhere. So that's kind of stamping that we all know how to do, is kind of just stamp ink to paper. And then I would take the Love Changes Everything stamp and I would use my early espresso ink and I would go ahead and stamp the Love Changes Everything at the top. So now we've got our base ready. We've got our inside ready with our piece of white cardstock on the inside. So now let's get to coloring this guy. And I'm going to color this guy before I'm going to assemble anything else. And again, this is designer series paper. And so it's thinner than cardstock. So when we color, we're going to want to be really, really careful. And what I had done was I had already selected some colors that I liked. So here's our new skin tone blends. You can see natural tones blends. You can see them all here. They go from, I think, 100 to 1,000, or maybe 100 to 1,000. I'm still learning them, but just all the ranges. Now, one thing that I did, because I'm a learner and I'm a studier, I included in the price of the kit, I'm going to give you a couple photos and actually a chart so you could start to get to know the skin tones yourself. So I actually went and looked and did some research because there's a lot of color. I love art and I love color and there's a lot of resources out there. And so there's basically when we want to do different skin tones and different colors, there's like little charts that can help us if like, maybe we can't just tell through our naked eye. And so this is kind of a little guide. So in the kit itself, I'm going to print out each one of these photos and I'm going to print out a chart for you to kind of play with the colors and kind of do color combinations. So I'll talk about that a little bit in the color chart. I invite you. Now, let's say you just want to take the 1,000 and you just want to look at that. So in the color chart itself, you're going to color, let's say 1,000 to 1,000. You're just going to color that square in and you're going to refer to it and you're going to know that that's the 1000. But let's say you want to see how 1000 looks with 900. So I've got 1000 here, I've got 900 here. I'm going to color 1000 on the left. I'm going to color 900 on the right. And then this is just a reference for me. I just want to make sure it's 900. I know it is. This is just a reference for me to know, oh, that's what they look like if I were to pair those together. That's what they would look like if I kind of want to blend them together. So you're going to get these reference photos. I just got a new photo printer, so I'm very excited. And I went to the printer and printed this on our basic white thick cardstock. I printed out a color chart for you. And I'll be giving more information as we go through this. But this would be a great first step to kind of fill out this chart like that. And just start to play with them a little bit. And then once we know it a little bit more, I'm happy to share a little bit more, but how am I going to use that information? So I wanted to have like a mix of colors on my hands. So let's say I want to go, let's say I want to start here. I want to do maybe kind of middle of the ground, 600. So I'm not going to take the time to color all of these hands, but I will show you this is thin designer series paper. So I'm taking the thin end and I'm not even going exactly right next to the hand because it's gonna spread. So I'm going a little bit farther away. Now, if I need to, I can come back in and so I told you I do my thin all the way around and then I kind of color in with my thicker. And if I'm finding that I come back in a little bit of time and it's still not like if there's still too much white space, then I can come in and do a little bit of touching up. But for right now, look, it's already even seeping. I can see it. It's already seeping right there. So I'm not like, I didn't even go to the edge and it's making its way to the edge already. So I definitely want to give breathing room. And let's say I'm going to come in right next to it with a lighter color. Well, I'm going to keep this guy a little bit further away too. And then I'm just going to kind of do my outline and then I'll come in with my thicker marker and color it. And so the color scheme that I used for the hands, I did a 400, a 600, an 800, and a 1000. 1000 was the lightest, 800 was more on the darker end. So 400, 600, 800, 1000. That's how I did the hands here to get kind of that look right there. I could have mixed and matched. Like I've been talking to people and I asked my friend, I'm like, oh, what color are you? Like on the skin chart, what would you say? I think I'm kind of like maybe on the 400 end, but, or no, I'm sorry. More on this end. Sorry. I'm more like, I'm not way over here. I'm more like on the 700 or 800. She looked at it and she said, oh, I'm a mix of 500 and 600. So you might take 500 and 600 and blend them together. So that's a little bit of how to get to know this. And again, and so then she's Latina. So I went and looked against the chart and actually it kind of really matched and that was consistent with this here. So I don't know if that's helpful for you or not. It was helpful for me. I'm a learner and I really wanted to know, like, I don't know, it's just a great opportunity to learn. So I'm happy to share these resources with you. But if nothing else, the card itself just has unity and just has impact. So we can color all the different colors and there we go. So then once we've got it colored, here's another tip I want to share. You take the doily, you glue it on the back and you just glue it just like that, just right there. You glue it just right there. And now you've got a nice doily. And then you glue your hands. And then you put that right there. And then that's your final card. You've got your heart on a dimensional. Your vellum. Your vellum is just glued and it doesn't need to, we don't need to hide the glue, so we can just like use a little bit of liquid glue or a little bit of dots. We can put that there and then we can put the dimensional heart on and there we go. So that's our card. And that's our final card. So that's that guy. And so if you get this kit, that's how you make that kit. And let's move on to the next one. So this next one, you guys, I love this one. This is hands, and I just love these hands. So this guy is, got your Coastal Cabana. You've got your basic white. Okay, so always, I have a basic white layer on the inside. I have basic black on the outside and white. And then I've got these two guys here. I wrapped up some twine. So we would wrap the twine around just the same way. So this strip is 1.5 by 5 1/4. Again, you get that in the kit, but I would wrap the twine around just the same way that we did that black and white ribbon earlier. I want to show you a little trick with coloring these hands. So with coloring these hands, so I cut them out on the die cut machine. I stamped them. I cut them out on the die cut machine, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I colored them. And then I want to show you how I did the sleeves. How I did the sleeves was I took a very, very light basic gray. So I colored the skin first, like this. And I kind of ended right about there. And then I took a basic gray and I drew a line right about right there and a basic gray right about right there. And then I took the pool party and I just made some little sleeves right there, just some colored sleeves. And so that's just a sweet little way to like put some clothing and just have a little bit of personality and a little bit of fun. And then the other thing I did was I put just a tiny little bit of nail polish. That's what's fun. We've got pink for Valentine's Day. We've got just a tiny little bit of nail polish. And so we can go ahead and color our hands right there. This guy's got You Matter to Me. So we can go ahead and put the You Matter to Me stamp on there. We've got that. He die cuts just so perfectly. We put him on Stampin' Dimensionals. We tie our little knot around, and then we've got our card here. So let me pause and color this, and let me see if you guys have any questions. Any questions or thoughts, you guys? All right. Well, I'm coloring with the wide tip end, but actually on these little hands, I'm going to come in with the little more narrow tip end. And just go ahead and color the whole thing. Oh, here, I want to show you. You know what? Let me do it. Let me just make a mistake. I said I was going to work with the color lifter. Let me just make a mistake. So let's say I've got my ink colored like this, and I accidentally went outside the lines. Well, let me come in, take my color lifter. That's what this guy is. This guy's a color lifter. He looks like he's like white and like he's going to make white. He's not going to make white. He's going to lift color. So let me come in and color exactly where the mistake was. And now we got to let it dry for a little while. But you can see that it lifted the color. Now it's also smearing the black a little bit. I don't normally have that experience. I think because this ink over here was still a little bit wet, that's one reason why that's happening. Can you guys hear me? I just had a phone call's coming in. Can you guys hear me?
We can
can
hear
hear
you, we
you.
just don't see your hands.
Gosh, what happened? A phone call's coming in. I don't know how to, I don't know how to end it. Hold on one second.
As soon as they hang up, it'll go back.
That's very good because I almost, if I push the wrong button, All right, now am I
Right.
sideways again? I'm
Yeah,
sideways.
you're
So
sideways.
let me go the right way. Now it's sideways again. I had it off. I had it on do not disturb and then I took it off do not disturb. All right. So can you guys see? So you can see that there's the mistake is gone. You can see that. So that's what a color lifter does. There's a little bit of maybe extra. Once I color the whole hand, I don't think you're going to see just that little bit of maybe ink smearing a little bit. But that the color lifter works really, really well to lift color and to take away any mistakes. So we can go ahead and color our hands, and I'm going to let that dry a little bit on that side. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to try not to make any mistakes over here.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So when you do your makeshift of your outfit of your blue or green,
Yeah.
will that gray blend? Will it smear? And I mean, obviously it's not, but is it not supposed to bleed?
Well, so are you wanting it to, I wanted this leaf to be maybe a little different color and it didn't bleed. And I love that that was a little different color, but you raised a good point. Maybe I shouldn't have done gray.
I mean,
Um,
I'm not saying that it was bad or not. I was just curious if you were to maybe do a different color that maybe that might not bleed into your 100 or whatever color you're doing.
oh, because does it look like it bled to you?
A little bit.
I see. Well, I guess I didn't really notice that, but I mean, you raise a really good point. We could certainly use something like Bermuda Bay and have like a completely different color, and then we wouldn't even really see that. So let's try it since we're here anyway. Well, now it is bleeding, but yeah. One thing for sure, if you want to let it dry, right? So look at this guy. I don't think this guy had any bleeding. So if you want to let it dry, and then
Pretty.
come in
That's
with
very
different
pretty.
color. Yeah. So yeah, good question. Any other questions? All right, that's that, guys. So now let's take a look at the very final card. Here is the very final card. And then I'm going to show you some really fun samples. So this is the final card. And I'm just going to tell you how to assemble it. So you're going to have a real red cardstock layer. You're going to have this designer series paper layer, and the black hearts are colored, but the white hearts aren't. So you're going to color the hearts yourself. So you just come in with your real red marker and you color that yourself. And then you go ahead and just glue the different layers, and they're very, very, very carefully cut. You stamp and die cut this guy. Now you'll notice on this guy, I didn't do any clothing, and I actually did kind of a, what color? I think I did pale papaya for the nails. So I just did light nails right there. And so that's kind of how I did that. You've got a little tiny heart that you would adhere, and then we'll get through this together. I just stamped that guy and we'll get through this together. So, and then the same thing, we tie the ribbon all the way around. So glue,
That's
glue.
cute.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Glue.
Pinky promise.
Pinky promise. Pinky
Mhm.
promise. Very fun. So that's that guy. Now I want to show you a bunch of swaps. So I was in a swap and I received a bunch of swaps. So I want to show you so many amazing swaps. So, well, let's see. We'll go with all of them. I have a lot of them. Since you said Pinky Promise, let's start with Pinky Promise. So here's Pinky Promise. So that's in the designer series paper, and then that's kind of embossed, heat embossed. And then this one is a pullout card and it says you matter. And so they took the same dies and they colored in the you matter.
Wow.
And
That's cool.
it was so
Yeah.
sweet. So
Yeah,
that was
well,
one. And then there's the we'll get through this together. So that's a swap card. Look at this guy, you guys. I love this guy. I just thought it was really creative, right? It just seems kind of young and trendy. And I just really thought that was kind of fun and cool. So there's coloring it in the skin tone and then kind of drawing and coloring
Yeah.
in bracelets
Jewelry.
and rings. Yeah, I really thought that was
Creative.
really cool. Super creative. You matter. So there's that guy. Here's another I promise. And here's two little hands, right? She's got red Valentine's on. And I don't know, he's got just manicured hands, right? So I promise. So there's that guy. And then little like flags. So there's that guy. Here's another I promise. So really sweet.
Cute.
And then kind of a nice fun fold right
Oh, yeah,
there.
that's a cute, yeah.
Just a nice fun fold. And there's our magenta madness retiring. And then here's another I promise. So there we
Nice.
go. And then look at this, you guys. We don't even have to color them, right? So here's
Yeah.
just a fun heart. We don't even have to color them. We could just stamp them. So now moving on, we've got some of the hands. So here's Love Changes Everything.
Is that
Really
a
sweet.
tag or it's just a?
It's a
an
tag.
embellishment?
It's
Yeah,
a
cute.
tag. I actually made this one. It ends like right there, but yeah, it's a
Yeah,
tag.
cute.
It's a
Cute.
tag. So, and that's the designer series paper. Now look how fun this one is. This was an idea from, I think, Doris and Carol, to put like the little knotted
Friendship
bracelets
bracelet,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So-
cute.
So that's a fun guy. And then here's another one with just two hands. And look, there's just two different color sweaters that the girls have on. And here's another You Matter to Me, just really striking with that Bermuda Bay. Really striking. Here's one full of hearts. This one, I love this one with like the layers and layers and layers and layers of hearts. Love you. So that's a super sweet one. Here's one. I think this was colored. I think this was colored like really, really solidly, then stamped, then cut. So it doesn't even bug you that maybe the color goes outside of the line. So, and then on that little scallop circle. So now
But
look
now that has dried, Aunt Janet, could you take your lifter if you really truly wanted to and fix it or no?
so let's do something.
I didn't want you to ruin it.
So let's try to like maybe give a little bit of
In tone.
lightness in the middle where we've got maybe a little bit of a shadow, and I can come in and fix it later.
Knuckle, yeah.
But yes, it lifts.
Good.
So now,
That's cool.
well, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'll probably come back and play with that. But anyway, there. Oh, and frankly, I could just make it and stamp it and put it over it again. But that is the benefit of these lives. I don't mind. It's just paper. We play with it, right? So look at this one, you guys.
That's nice.
Nice,
that's a good one.
yeah.
Look at this one.
That's cool.
I like that one.
It's really cool.
Creative,
Here's another one, Doris. That's that swap I was telling you about.
nice.
Here's the effect I was going for, Courtney Lane, with
Yeah.
that one. I was trying to achieve that. I don't know how well I did, but here's some shading
Yeah,
with
good.
the
Oh,
different.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that guy. And then just the nice touches of the little designer series paper. And there's our organdy ribbon. Here's another one with our hands with really nice shading.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh.
good.
Really nice shading all around and how to use this. And then this was that fold that Terry taught us. So it's that fold. It's kind of like a
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah,
I like that one.
we did this in one of our classes, one of our kits last year, but there's the
Nice.
You Matter. We'll get
I
through
re-
this
You
together.
remember that one? I like that one.
Yeah. And then here's one more that, this was, I think, the first one I designed when I was playing with it. So it's just, I love polished pink, you guys. I just love polished pink. So I was
Very
playing
pretty.
with
That's pretty.
polished pink. And so there we go. So girls, that is it. That is the how-tos for the cards. Ordering special. I think I shared about that. Minimum $35 order using the host code by next Wednesday, and you get all these ingredients free. Minimum 50, you get all these ingredients free, plus a pack of ribbon, plus one free celebration item, and then minimum $100, you get 2 sets of cards, so 10, pack of ribbon, and 2 celebration items. So that is that. And then, of course, team members, this is also our team make and take. And so you guys know how to order those. And I think that's it. So any questions or thoughts, you guys?
No, very nice.
So fun. Thank you guys for joining, and have an awesome day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.